Hey everyone, welcome to Item Hunt. Take a wild guess what we do on this show. I'm Nick, I'm a he/him, and today we're playing Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and we'll be hunting down every item, puzzle piece, reward, map, and chest in Disney Castle and Timeless River.
Fun fact, the little marching song playing in the background right now is from a show that aired in 1955. If you can tell me what show it's from, then I'll reward you by being very impressed.
If you enjoy, feel free to click the subscribe button, and if you want to be notified when I post a new video, then cast Blizzard on the bell icon. I don't know what I expected. Let's move on. So unlike previous videos, I'll be setting this video up by world, since we can get the vast majority of items in the first visits of both. However, missions and minigames will be its own section that incorporates both the worlds. Anyway, when we land in Disney Castle, the first thing we can do is run up the steps, turn into Valor form, and then leap to grab the duality puzzle piece that's sitting above this little arch thing. Now, let's do what is referred to as a pro gamer move. While still in Valor form, we leave the world, then re-land in it, and that will reset our drive gauge back to max. Sorry. Anyway, let's head on to the courtyard. And once we're there, if we turn to the right and run around the little green castle, we'll find a chest with a blazing shard inside. Now, let's climb the green shrub castle and grab the star recipe chest that sits near the top. Then we can hop around from the back along its edge up to the front to reach the heart puzzle piece that's floating just above the front door. Then we'll head on to the shrubbery. A shrubbery! Ah, shit, showing my age again. Anyway, now we're gonna go to the Clarabelle Flute Shrubbery that faces the front of the shrub castle. And we'll jump up behind it to grab the blazing stone chest. Now let's go towards the trumpeting pig on my right here and leap over these two trees to collect this mithril stone chest that's guarded by a bunch of shadows. Then we can jump on the trumpeting pig's shoulder pad, then up to its hat, where another heart piece rests. After grabbing that, we're going to run to the other side of the Clarabelle shrub to the far corner where an AP boost chest resides. Then we'll go along the left wall, up past the Horace Horsecollar drummer shrub, all the way to the trombone player, who has a chest on the bush near its left arm. It houses a mithril shard. Now we'll turn around and jump towards the big bush that's in the nearby corner, where a hovering duality puzzle piece will be. Then we'll go back to the trombone player, and we'll keep along the left wall, leading us towards the door to the next room. But before we exit, go rightwards towards the French horn pig shrub, where a chest will be sitting on an elevated bush. It holds a mithril shard, which will be our last item in the courtyard. So, we'll head through the exit door and into the colonnade, where there's a puzzle piece that floats right above our heads. But unfortunately for now, even with a level 3 Valor form, we just can't reach it. So instead we're going to keep it pushing to the library. That's the fancy brown door on the far end of the room. Then we can talk to Minnie and get the Disney Castle map. And when we respawn, we can get the big torn page chest that's on our left in the northeast corner. Then we can head back into the colonnade and start the escort minigame. Is it a pun to call it a minigame? Kill me. To beat the minigame, we use the reaction command Faith every time there's enemies around, as we make our way to the big purple door. And our reward for completing this? Same tips apply to help Minnie reach the throne. This time though, we do get a reward, and it's Sora gaining an item slot and the auto summon ability. So I mean, hey, at least it weren't for nothing. Now, when we spawn in the Hall of the Cornerstone, we'll leave and go to Hollow Bastion. Then we'll be transported back to Merlin, and we can officially start Timeless River. But hang on, real quick, just before we start the Timeless River section, there's one more puzzle piece to get here in Disney Castle. On a return trip, any return trip, after you have at least high jump level 2 and level 1 aerial dodge, you should be able to just barely tap this daylight puzzle piece. Evidently some sites say you can get it with a 3rd level Valor form, but I wasn't able to earlier, so your results may vary. Anyhow, let's pop to the perilous past and prevent a precocious Pete from stealing the proner pone of Pite. Nailed it. So while the game's loading, feel free to drop a video a like, I greatly appreciate it. Maybe with that serotonin boost, baby. So once we spawn in Timeless River, we're going to make a 180 and run over to the chest sitting by itself by the fence and the ridge. It's home to a frost shard. Then we'll jump up the ridge and run up to the big chest with the Cornerstone Hill map inside. Then we'll run down, sprint past Clarabelle, and head into the pier to have a little tussle with Past Pete. But before we fight him, we can use Valor Form to reach the puzzle piece that sits on the tree. It sits just ahead, the puzzle piece of Duality. Then we can grab the chest below the tree. It has a high potion inside. Then if we run to the northeast corner, there's another chest under a tree, housing a Mithril Shard. Then we can run to the frontier puzzle piece that's perched on the part of the pier that's left of where Past Pete is positioned. Help, I can't stop. Real fast, before fighting Pete, if you're still in Valor form, we can rush back to the Cornerstone Hill, which will reset our drive gauge to max, because our party technically isn't in our party while in that room. Fun fact. Then we can come back to the pier and fight Pete, which is a pretty easy fight. With unfortunately no rewards.
I'm tired.
Fighting enemies with no reward.
Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
After the cutscenes, we'll have 4 old-timey theater thingies, windows of the past as they're known. But we're going to ignore them and go to the waterway instead. In the waterway, there's a chest near the south exit by a windmill containing a frost stone. Then we can head northward up the canal and reach the chest on the left that's home to a Mithril Stone. Then further northward is a heart puzzle piece and an AP boost, which is the last of our puzzle pieces and chests in Timeless River. Now, I'm just going to quick explain how to beat the world, so if you want to jump ahead to missions and minigames, then I'll put a timestamp on the screen. So if you're still here, let me ask, do you like the videos as sort of a world guide like they have been, or would you prefer a more cut and dry, just the items type of video where once we get all the items, we move on? Let me know in the comments. Also, just between you and me, you're my favorite viewer. Just thought you should know. So, once we're back in the Cornerstone Hill, what we need to do now is go into each of the 4 old-timey windows and complete their minigames. As for the rest, we'll just go rightwards down the line. The next one is a tiny town minigame. Next, we have the House Fire minigame.
Why did you set me on fire, SpongeBob?
Last is Mickey's house, and it looked like someone's opened a black hole inside it. If I had a nickel for every time someone opened a black hole in someone else's house, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. For here, it's best if you attack the black hole anytime it's active, because your goal is to prevent Mickey's furniture from being sucked into it, also while, defeating the Heartless. When we complete the final theater window, we'll receive the Window of Time map, which is a map for the 4 areas we just completed. Now, we'll go forward to the waterway and have the first Pete boss fight, where using reaction commands is the way to win.
Toxic person, walk the other way. Toxic person, walk the other way. Toxic person, walk the other way. Walk the other way.
That's really all you need. And for breaking the Cornerstone Cage, Sora will receive the Dodge Slash ability, Donald will collect the Fantasia Limit ability, as well as Auto Limit, and Goofy gathers an HP boost. We'll then waddle to the wharf when we spawn back in, and we'll run up to the Wrestling Pete's to start the boss fight. Now for this, Present Pete is the same as he was in Olympus Coliseum. Block his bomb balls, jump or stand far away when he slams his hands, and he's impervious when he brings up his big, weird hamster ball shield. So the new thing is, as we whittle Pete's health, he'll teleport us to various, window rooms, and he'll use their gimmicks against us. The scaffolding one is particularly good, because Air Slash does big damage. And also, if you get the chance, Past Pete's About Face can be used to damage Present Pete. On our inevitable victory, we'll receive the Reflect element for Sora, an HP boost for Donald, and the Goofy Tornado ability for Goofy, as well as the Monochrome Keyblade, and also Wisdom Form. And now, it's time for... Yes, there are minigames and missions in these worlds. What? I know, crazy. Here's a fun mission you can try. Join my Patreon for only $3 a month. Link in the description bivity. No, please, but please do, but please. So, Timeless Rivers has the mission and minigame of beating mushroom number 11. Mushroom number 11 needs to be beaten in 19 seconds for Jiminy's journal, and what I do is go in with Wisdom form using the Rumbling Rose Keyblade, because it has a finishing plus, then in my abilities, turn on finishing plus and negative combo, and then start the fight. Now be sure to keep a decent distance away, and then we just spam. The real challenge here is gauging distance. If the mushroom jumps towards you, you gotta be prepared to slide back or your shots could miss. Same if it jumps too far away from you. Your lock-on could turn off and then your shots could miss. Insert Game Grumps joke here. Also, if you happen to be running low on form gauge, going back through the door to Disney Castle while in any form will reset your drive gauge, so you won't need to waste any drive recoveries, though you will get a bunch for like fighting the mushroom, so there's that. Anyway, when you win, here's the rewards for Mushroom 11. Now, for Disney Castle, its missions and minigames only appear after you defeat the final boss, Xemnas, and only in the final mix version of the game. So if you're playing the original on PS2, well, you won't get this mission, and you won't have gotten the mushrooms either. You must be so confused right now. Final mix people, it's time. Now, if you watch my Kingdom Hearts 1 no damage run, the one thing you'll quickly learn about me is I'm not above cheesing it. So what I do for this fight is equip Fenrir, gain from beating Sephiroth and Hollow Bastion, then I turn on my negative combo ability, and turn off any air attack abilities, or any air combo abilities, so that it's just one single combo finisher, over and over and over, until Lingering Will is defeated. This strategy is really about timing, so it may take a few times to get the timing right, but it is probably the easiest strat I've found. You can also use Donald's Fantasia limit for some invincibility frames just before starting the strat, or if you happen to mess it up. Also, I use forms here as a failsafe just to heal on the off chance he breaks out, because I don't want to get knocked into next week. Now, one of my commenters, Andrew, mentioned the Peter Pan way, which I actually hadn't heard of, so I looked it up. The Peter Pan strat is a level 1 speedrunning strat. Essentially, the way it works is you equip one or more Air Combo Plus abilities. You can also use the Starseeker Keyblade for an additional one, and then turn on the Air Spiral ability, and make sure Donald has his Fantasia limit turned on. So first we cast Comet for the invincibility frames. Basically, Lingering Will won't be able to hit you when you press the triangle. Then, when he finishes his attack, quickly do a combo to him. Then, when he's reeling from that combo, you'll see him in the air, summon Peter Pan as fast as possible. Now, you're going to do as many air combos as you can before you land, but don't do any finishers. In fact, having the Berserker charge ability on as a failsafe is a smart move to make. So, now, you and Peter Pan will just chip damage Lingering Will's health into oblivion. You don't need to do anything with him, he's just going to poke the shit out of him, and you're just going to keep doing those air combos. And eventually you'll fucking win. Take that, you big metal bitch. For defeating Lingering Will, Sora acquires the Drive Gauge power-up, while Donald and Goofy grab an HP boost. Also, we'll grab the Proof of Connection, which gives Sora a little hat. Now, if you're struggling with either of these two strats, I'm going to link Biscuit047's Cheap Strategies video up in the cards. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed, leave a like, and hopefully, I'll see you next time. Goodbye!